guys, welcome to another episode of the Scoop Zone. I'm Gary, your host, along with my co-host, Arwen Avalon, Sil Abdul, and 24 Susan. You're 24 Susan.
24 Susan.
24/7 Fusion Media. I'm not editing that. I don't mind when I look stupid.
Yeah. Fuck you, Gary.
Remember, no, you go.
This is a great panel. And of course, you know, one of the first subjects we're going to be talking about, if you go to 24/7 Fusion Media's channel, you'll see he's done a video already on this exact subject. And I know Sil Abdul has too. Well, I don't know what Arwen does on her own. I really don't.
I don't either.
You know where I see you almost all the time is Fat Steven's gaming streams. So, or you're either in the chat or you're in the game. So that's what she does with her free time.
Stop it.
That and probably make really good food, and on top of that, get the vapors.
Oh, I've had a lot of vapors lately. Oh yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. God, the
I
vapors.
declare.
This is going to be a predominantly DC episode.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I got to tell you what, man. Marvel's been fumbling left and right, while David Zaslav has been really creating the ultimate fucking team that I have a lot of hope for.
Yeah, I mean, during this last week, he's dropping even more motherfuckers I never even heard of and positions I didn't know they held. And I'm like, well, shit. I guess, you know, he chopped all the main people off. Now he's working his way down. So it's
let's say goodbye to Bob Tilwilliger, who was one of the people that worked a job that nobody's ever heard of at Warner.
That's what I mean.
Exactly. He's just fired. We said that Hamada would be gone by June. I did not expect with that extended contract that Toby Emmerich would be gone too. But they're all gone.
Yeah.
They're all gone. Now, agreed, Hamada is still there. He still has an office, but he also knows that they're replacing him.
Yeah, he already knows. Yeah.
You know, he knows that his job is done.
Yeah.
So I don't know what all he's doing there, but I can tell you right now that the person doing his job really is David Zaslav.
Yeah.
And he has this story. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up now. This story is just every single person he fired is at fault for this movie being made with this guy and doing so much with it. And Zaslav is like, I'm $200 million in on this thing. Can't shelve it. But I also got to watch when I release it because all this bad press that Ezra Miller is causing is going to destroy any chance at bank.
Yeah.
And all of us have said it. I know every single one of us has said it would be really nice if he could find a way, because a lot of it was through digital effects, his ability to play multiple characters. So you could just go back and replace him digitally in those shots. Go back to the masters and put them through, because I guarantee the FX house still has the master recordings and can replace them digitally.
And they have time. I mean, the film's not out till next summer.
I know.
they
He's
did a
got to think about doing that.
they did a similar thing like that. If you guys recall, I think it had to be maybe a year and a half ago
Yeah.
when Zack Snyder was doing
You're going with that one. Yeah.
the Army of the Dead, and that one dude got into some foul shit, and he replaced him with
Tig.
oh girl, fuck it, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. I think
Tig.
is she from Discovery or whatever?
Some comedian, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's a comedian, but I think she had a role in Star Trek Discovery. She was one of the
Tig. Yeah.
people on the ship. But they ended
you're
up
talking about Tig. Yeah.
Yeah, Tiggs, right. They ended up digitally removing him and putting her in there because the thing is, when they shot it, they shot him with everybody else. When they shot her, since they already filmed it, they shot her alone and just digitally, But people said that it kind of looked a little funny too.
And she's not really good in the role. She's really bad.
Yeah, it's fucked up. He got
snuck her in there.
Yeah, it's like he's like
I've
the
hung
original
around
actor.
chopper pilots, and she got it wrong.
It's crazy because when dude got in trouble, not only did he get replaced, but his character got gender swapped. So it was like that was like a double slap to his shit. It was like, fuck.
Well, I actually thought you were going to bring up Ridley Scott removing Kevin Spacey.
Where you remove him from?
Yeah.
It was. Hold on a second. I'll just look
I
it
didn't
up.
know he actually. Okay, I remember. Yeah.
I think wasn't it like he was doing a movie right around the time that his shit fell apart during the House of Cards and.
When he got in trouble. Here we go. Removed from movie. The movie.
I think he didn't shoot that much footage for that though, but still he did replace him.
Open image in new tab.
See, that's what I've heard. With so much involvement of him in this film and the cost to recreate anything digitally, it would have just been a monster project.
This was the original version. Open image in new tab.
You have that saved already?
And it's from the movie All the Money in the World by Ridley Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And he went in and took Christopher Plummer here on the right and reshot all of the scenes that Kevin Spacey had been in here on the left. That was him there.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's a better choice anyway, Christopher Plummer.
And
yeah,
great.
I agree.
Oh, he actually kind of reminds me of him visually. But this is the original shot with Kevin Spacey. He was made up to look old.
Right.
Like the actual I forget the guy name, the rich motherfucker. But Christopher Plummer was reshot and put into his place digitally.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it could be done, but like Aaron was saying, the money is an issue. We know Zaslav doesn't like wasting money. Do you want to put another $100 million into this film, to the Flash film, and hope you get a good release? It's no guarantee you recoup that. With this situation.
True.
So
it would be a gamble. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword because now they're risking having, Mr. Freakazoid in it and them losing money with that versus shelling out, lots of clams.
Or just dump it on HBO Max.
Or
I don't see them putting a $200 million film just on HBO Max. But if they don't reshoot it, I get it. They might just have to.
Yeah,
but
there's
no recouping of their money in that.
Right.
That's a loss. It's a $200 million loss.
You can't have Ezra Miller in the theaters. Like I see no way you roll out a film in theaters with Ezra Miller, next summer.
Yeah. Now, Mikey says here, in Zaslav's plan to make DC an explosively successful division like Marvel under the newly structured studio with its own new boss, the non-binary identifying Miller we hear is simply not part of those plans. Look, he took that thing right there in order to protect himself so he could be a problem. That's all that was. It was a defense because he knew he's got problems. That's why I dislike him. He's aware of this. He's aware of his problems. And he was looking for a means to make it hard for anybody to do anything to him. And that's the same shit Kevin Spacey tried to pull when allegations came out about him, molesting
boys.
young men, that were underage he comes out as gay, thinking that blanket's going to protect him, and it's like, no, motherfucker,
nah.
it doesn't.
You can be a shitty person whether you're gay or straight or whatever however you identify, whatever your jam is. You could be a good person, you could be a shitty person. One's got nothing to do with the other.
Yeah,
well, and it falls into that category, where, like, what are you saying, Kevin Spacey, that being gay means that gay men are all ephedophiles?
Yeah.
Because an ephetophile is someone that's interested in people who've gone through, kids who've gone through puberty. They're not pedophiles. They're ephedophiles. And they're interested in post-pubescent, underage girls and
that's
boys.
not fair to that community, if you know what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
To be labeled that way.
So, Kevin Spacey's just kind of a rotten shit, and I am curious to see where this is going to go with him over there in England, because they actually formally charged him.
Mm-hmm.
And
his career pretty much over.
But Ezra's missing in action. I haven't heard anything yet. Sil, have you on where he's at?
Well, I just did a report actually yesterday. It was really a bombshell, I think. I talked to some people that actually knows Ezra Miller or aware of his actions, and according to them, they're denying the whole grooming thing, right? So that's one thing. They're like, no, he didn't really do that, but they admit he does have a drug problem. So he does have a drug problem, anger issues, mental issues, and he refused.
Well, when you see 12-year-olds mention, look, I'm not saying sexual. When I hear their use of the word grooming, it's not sexual. They're saying that he was grooming them for cultish behavior. Which really,
I guess that's still bad, right?
Because it's a different kind of, it's similar grooming psychologically, but
so they deny that though. They deny that, but they admit the mental. But they said like WBD actually in the deadline report said that they tried to get Ezra Miller help. According to his friends, Ezra Miller refused help, and he said he'll self-treat himself. So it's like, oh, this dude just destructive. Like that's why they got rid of him. That's what I keep telling you. That's why he took that non-binary shit. He did that whole thing because he knew that would be his blanket protection, because he knew he had a problem going in. Yeah,
this is because like everybody, all of us want to be sensitive to people's mental illness. We all want to be. And I come from a family with a lot of mental illness, especially with my sister who has schizophrenia. I've dealt with it all my life. I've dealt with I've had 2 spouses who had a form of it, and you just deal with it. And one was aware of it and did something about it. The other one did not. She was aware that it caused problems, and she didn't care. That's what I'm pointing out with Ezra. Ezra's fully aware of what's going on with him, that he needs help, but refuses it and makes his problem other people's problems.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The way they describe it, they said he's going to self-treat himself. And I was like,
can't do that.
Okay. I'm like,
that's the way to go with mental illness right there.
That's why I think Zaza decided this 2 months ago that he was done with Ezra Miller after they refused treatment. I think WBD was done then. It was like, no, we're not using this guy no more. So
yeah,
that's where it's.
So 24, you did something on this. Throw something out here.
Well, I mean, the thing is that we're looking at everything that happened in Hawaii, and we're looking at these 2 newer incidents. One 6 years in the making, the other one from February to now, and this, young girl, I don't know if I can, man. When she was 11, now she's 12. The thing is like that's all we've heard about so far, and what I've touched on in my video was, this is like, they might have, figured out that, hey, we don't want to fuck with them no more and everything else, but then this is not the end of it by far. They still haven't caught him yet. Look, if you look at all the videos, pictures that I've seen with like Chase Iron Eyes and the grandfather, the father of Chase, the father of Chase, the grandfather of Tataka, he had a picture where Ezra Miller came in holding up a gun while they took the picture. That's the same gun that he wore a bulletproof vest and shows up over at the 12-year-old's house. So basically, he's running around. He's, he got a gun. He got a bulletproof vest. I don't know what the fuck he's afraid of, or why he has to strap him. Look like he's ready to do something, and then all of a sudden he's flashing it at people. There's that one time where they said that he pulled it up at somebody when they were disagreeing about Rastafarian being the reason. What was that? Parcheesi? They're playing Parcheesi, and it was like, yeah, the Rastafarians had something to do with this in making this. And when the guy questioned him about it, he was like, "Are you talking shit? What did you say?" And he pulled out the gun and say, "Hey, you started some shit can get you in some serious trouble or get you in a serious situation or something like that."
I wasn't even aware of this story.
Violent
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
weird and
basically,
deep.
yeah. So basically, he has different situations with different groups of people flashing the same gun. He's running around with a bulletproof vest. He's flashing in front of kids, different folks. I mean, dude, at this point, he's either going to get into a shootout. Somebody's going to fucking shoot him, because the thing is, he's running around and he has weapons. That's the thing. People are more worried about his actions with kids and drugs.
He sounds really dangerous.
To be honest, he's running around really flashing that shit, telling folks, if you fuck up, I got something for you, basically. I mean, if he's seen, the thing is, he's doing it with people that they're not from the streets. Like, if he took that shit somewhere else, man, somebody would have killed his ass.
People he knows. Yeah, 24. It's people that he knows. These families have a history with him, and then he goes there and starts fights with them. It's so weird.
Hey, Arwen. Because I know you and I have that shared friendship with Fat Steven. Because Fat Steven's been covering it too. But what he's been doing, and I understand where he's coming from, that, look, man, let's not do to Ezra what was done to Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Let's not cancel this guy before he's had his day in court. But the fact is, the more that's coming out, the less easy it is to kind of defend him that way.
See, that's the difference, and I think people misunderstand the canceling. What he is doing, what Ezra Miller is doing, by finding out all the information and by letting it all come to light, dude's canceling himself.
Yeah.
It's like, let all the shit rise to the top. Scrape it
shit
off,
does. That's
and
right.
there we go. And that's what that's about. But when people if you start canceling somebody too soon, a lot of that information could get clipped and nipped in the bud. And
we become guilty of the thing that we complain about.
We do, and that's why you don't want to do that. You want to let everything come out. You can see it; it's right there. There's no mistaking this man is unhinged. It's one thing to have mental issues that you have to deal with. It's another thing to run around batshit crazy and present yourself as a walking danger to others. And by allowing all this stuff to come out, we now see that's what Ezra Miller's doing.
Yeah,
so he's canceling himself, and we are allowing him to do that because we're finding all this out.
A little different with the Johnny Depp case too. Like, that's a good contrast, because Johnny Depp, you only had crazy Amber Heard accusing Johnny Depp. Like
Amber Heard?
What 24 Spring is like multiple families.
Right.
Did you say Amber Heard?
With Ezra. I didn't say Amber Heard. But I think too, a good point where Aaron was saying let the information come out. WBD just reportedly they made their choice 2 months ago. And now you got these new instances. So like you 24 was saying, even more is going to come out. And they probably know of more stuff.
Oh yeah,
we're done.
These situations are like roaches. You see one or two things, there's 100 things you haven't seen.
Right.
So there you go.
I think it has to be accurate. It's very important for the information to be accurate.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to have something on this every week, because this is an unfolding story, and we'll be talking about this information on our individual shows and on the Scoop Zone. I guarantee you, probably for the next month to 2 months, because more is going to come out, and we're going to eventually.
And then
Zaslav Warner has to make a decision on what they're going to do with this film.
Yes.
Yeah,
and aside from the film itself, the whole thing. Look, watch. I'm telling you right now. When this happens, there's going to be cameras rolling when the cops or whoever, because the thing is, this shit is nationwide now. So whatever state he's in, wherever he goes, somebody's going to see him. They're going to phone in the laws. Now that's going to be a whole thing. What happens when they go to serve him his papers and he's like, well, fuck it, I'm ready to die, and he ends up having a shootout. See what I'm saying? Like, I can see this shit going so far,
escalating. Exactly.
So it's like, okay, and
we know from his previous behavior, he escalates.
Exactly. And my thing is, that's going to be a situation within itself, and then it's going to be, okay, are they gonna arrest him? Are they trying to serve him papers? And then that's a whole nother thing, because if they do arrest him, then that's everybody watching court TV for his day in court. This shit's going to keep going, and everything, and every time it's going to be the former Flash star, or it's going to be the Flash star. It's always going to be Flash something. Warner Brothers is going to be.
I will not be surprised, 24, if we see helicopter footage of some compound where he's barricaded himself in and with a hostage. Because I would hate that to happen, but that's what goes into my head with people like him.
Yeah.
Or a police chase, like a fucking like an OJ thing.
OJ with the Bronco,
in the Bronco, fucking driving down the fucking.
Who do you think will be his Al Cowling?
Yeah, Tataka be his Al Cowling. You know what I'm saying? And
who's gonna be Ezra Miller's Al Cowling?
Oh no! Well, yeah.
Crazy shit, man. That was a good segment. I really like this. This is good. Man, this is a good story.
That's a hot story. Yeah.
But I will move us on now, because we spent 20 minutes on that. That was really good. All right. Let's move on to some fun, good news, happy news. Happy trees. I'm painting some happy trees here. With Zack Snyder's Man of Steel influenced The Rock's Black Adam, which I think is fine. It's going to be the same universe. And The Rock wanted that.
Yeah.
Snooze.
Yeah.
You know what, man?
These guys are best friends now. They're practically Eskimo brothers.
Oh, God, Gary, stop with that Eskimo brother.
Man.
This course is written by Mikey Sutton. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I was just saying, The Rock, like you said, that's what he's going for. I agree.
No, it's just, okay, the influence is the new 52, man.
Well, yeah, because as much as I have a problem with the comics, because I hated them, I actually don't mind 80% of what they're doing with the films.
The most failed part of DC Comics is the new 52. Out of everything they've ever put out, from reboots and all this other shit, and the way Marvel is fucking adapting the worst part of their fucking comic book history into live action, it's the same shit. And then it's like everybody is allowing this to keep going.
Well, it's going to keep going, because it's the least. What is that? The lesser of two evils. This is what Mikey and I've talked about, is that we're not fans of Zack Snyder's DC work. We're not, but we know that it's better than what they were doing. And so that's how I look at this. The fact is, I hate the way they handled Captain Marvel. He is Captain Marvel, and he is not Billy Batson grown up.
Right.
Captain Marvel is the combination of the gods. And Billy Batson gets put in the cave every time Captain Marvel comes out to serve in his place. It's not a transfiguration, it's a transference. But the new 52 paints a different version of it. I still enjoyed it. Didn't like the comics. I hated the comics. But I enjoyed the film because it was a great performance, great effects. It was a lot of fun. But I don't like that version of they call him Shazam. Shazam is what he says, which is the combination of the name of the gods. He is not Shazam. He is Captain Marvel. So I'm with you 100% on it when it comes to the comics, but when it comes to the films, I give them a little more room. I'm just still not happy about that, because Billy Batson is not Captain Marvel.
Yeah, man. I mean, he doesn't even have the fucking the wisdom of Solomon to fucking guide him. I mean, that's the whole thing that's wrong with it. Because the fact that he has no guidance as he's running around, he's just like, like Tom Hanks.
Well, it was a remake of Big. It was a remake of Big. But I'm hoping that they start listening to Henry Cavill, because Henry Cavill understands Superman better than anybody I've ever seen. I've seen him in interviews talk about who Superman is, and he gets it better than Zack Snyder or Warner Brothers did. But let's see what Mikey says here. Zack Snyder's Man of Steel influenced The Rock's Black Adam film. The Black Adam trailer punched its way to 20 million views thus far on YouTube. Nevertheless, a few humorous aspects in the footage troubled some hardcore fans. Yeah. They worry that Black Adam will be closer in tone to 2019 Shazam. Fan expectations, especially unrealistic ones, can kill enjoyment of a movie. For example, older Star Wars buffs bashed George Lucas prequels in the late 90s and early 2000s. Granted, some of the criticisms had merit. Yeah, Jar Jar Binks being very annoying. And hearing George Lucas say that Jar Jar is the central character of Phantom Menace, it told me right there that he's lost contact. You know, that was a really weird moment seeing that set on when he looked at the storyboards. I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? Anyway, on the contrary, people who saw them as kids see them in a different way. In other words, Attack of the Clones, especially Revenge of the Sith, were far superior to the piles of negativity that they acquired. The same can be said for the late Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever. Yeah, because, my daughter's a huge fan of both those films. Schumacher for straying from Tim Burton's Dark Take. My complaint was straying from Batman. You know who Batman is. Anyway, ironically, Schumacher directed one of the best Batman movies. Followers ask HBO Max for the Schumacher cut now, which I agree. I'd like to see what his version is.
Yeah, the real cut.
Yeah, fan expectations shift between generations, and there is a lot of truth in that. There is truth in that. It's led to one of the biggest meltdowns between me and another person on another person's show when he said that the prequel trilogy was as good as the original trilogy, and I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, I said
their opinion
to a human being.
Their opinion, Gary. Just their opinion.
Professional opinion on this one. See, you and I have professional opinions. It's not just our personal, it's professional. The quality of filmmaking is not as good. Storytelling is not as good as the original. Definitely. It's just not. They can love it because it's their film, and they can say, I love it, and I love it more than your trilogy. I'm like, that's fine. You can do that, but don't tell me it was better. You can't. It's not. That's a lie. Many hardcore Black Adam followers, like us, expect an edgy, grim adventure. First of all, it's The Rock. The Rock doesn't star in gloomy epics. There will be jokes in Black Adam. Quite frankly, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all about entertainment. Even the all-time best action movies like Die Hard and Terminator 2 Judgment Day have moments of levity. Of course. The character has to be unaware they're funny, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They have to have that sincerity. They're believing what they're saying, and that makes it even funnier. That's why Airplane was so funny, because all the comedy was done with sincerity, and Stop Calling Me Shirley.
And I wouldn't mind seeing Rock maybe do a gloomy epic. I think the guy's got some acting chops. They just need to get him out of his bubble and let him stretch.
Well, that's the problem, Ron. He's staying in the bubble. He's staying in that bubble, though. He's not going to stretch any range. He
is about the money. He really is.
He probably could.
Now, I believe he can act. I've seen him act. But the fact is I will say this. He knows where the money is.
Yeah.
What performances make the money. He's not after an award here. He is after making this successful to prove to Zaslav this is the way to go.
Right.
It's all about proving
because
this is the way to go.
Yeah, it's show improved right now, this new regime, because Zaz will be like, oh, you ain't doing nothing after this if you don't make no money. So
yeah, very much so. So Mikey continues, nevertheless, the fears are understandable. After all, DC Films has a bad reputation because DC has always been the dark comics. They've always been the dark comics. But as long as they have the levity going along with some darkness, I'm fine with it, because DC has always been the more dramatic, heavier storytelling. Right. Yeah, Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 84, just horrible. Yeah. Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. Yeah, let's not even go there. But sources reveal that Black Adam is stylistically more like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which I'm okay with parts of that, and I'm not okay with other parts. They add that Black Adam is quite unlike Shazam in terms of violence. Black Adam leans towards Man of Steel. The Rock is a huge fan of Zack Snyder's work, especially Man of Steel. Also, keep in mind, director, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Hold on.
I've never pronounced that before.
Collet
Serra, I don't know that first name.
Oh, Jamais Collet Serra.
Jamais. Okay, Jamais Collet Serra. Okay,
Serra, yeah.
Cut his teeth in horror pictures. Nat, I like that because horror is, in my opinion, one of the great ways to start. No, Black Adam won't be as dark as Zack Snyder's Justice League. Therefore, rein in those fan expectations. Black Adam is still a rock popcorn movie. Nonetheless, insiders claim that Zack Snyder was among Black Adam's influences. So I think there's good in that. I like this scene in the trailer. That cracked me up. And I like the fact that he went the opposite direction of Iron Man. And that was a nod to Iron Man in the trailer with the fighters. You know what scene I'm talking about, where he's flying along with the fighters?
Oh, okay.
And Iron Man, when he did it, he tried to give room. He didn't want to hurt them. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, he just.
But now we see Black Adam is like, "Fuck you." Just gives him that fucking "go fuck yourself" look, and then punches the wing. I giggled at that because I knew immediately that was showing. They did that. It was a visual reference to Iron Man. It was a nod to Iron Man.
I'm more excited about the JSA potential. Dr. Fate.
That too, yes.
Hawkman in there. Yeah.
With Fate. Oh my God. And he doesn't have. I'm so happy. It's a shield. There's no eye.
What do you think
holes.
about that? Now I know 24 may not like that choice. I don't know, but it's no eye
I mean,
slits in the helmet.
he's had it ever since he was created. So why the fuck is the movie just gonna sit there and be like, oh well, we'll do it better than what the comic books are? I mean, 'cause we're just the fucking greatest. I can't believe.
I don't mind it. I actually like that mask.
Yeah, it looks stupid.
But I also liked the version that they had in what was that TV show? I just forgot it. I almost said Hellblazer. Constantine.
Oh, okay.
When they showed the Fate helmet in his museum of curiosities.
I find it interesting, and films, it's a different form.
Because that was a more comic accurate mask.
Actually, people have already made that mask. Like you can actually buy that shit and put it on your head. So if they again, man, these fucking lazy fuckers in Hollywood, if they don't. Fuck them, man.
Look,
they don't even know how to make a suit
I
right.
smile when you say these things, and the reason I smile is I love what you're saying, and I agree with you in context. But again, I'm a little more forgiving with these films because I want them successful, and I said this years ago, back when Keith and I first met, and I said I really, no matter how much I don't agree with a lot of the things they do in these films, I want them to be successful because you remember the term Arab winter? I mean, Arab spring. That term came into play because we saw a lot of revolt going on in the Middle East. And I took that term, stole it, and said, this is our nerd spring because we're finally getting stuff. Whereas when I was a kid and Keith was a kid, we get smattering every once in a while, like somebody just sprinkling a little bit of seasoning. Whereas now it's like they're throwing handfuls of spice out for us to where now we can complain about it. We can actually complain about this shit instead of complaining about we don't have anything. And so I like that. I like that we have stuff that we can actually complain about that is nerd entertainment. And I feel very lucky that we have that. But I do agree with you in context. But I still feel very lucky that we're getting any of this at all. Because it can go away just as quickly as it started showing up. And I fear that.
To be real, man, if it's going to look like shit, they should have never made it to begin with.
It only looks like shit if you go at it with what you're talking about. If I go at it, see, I tend to, as long as you are absolutely None, because I don't agree that they're shitting on the stuff. I just think they're
This
going
is
in
Hollywood. They
I
have
don't think
millions of dollars. They have people that have already made this shit. Dude, all they have to do, if it's so hard for these fucking people, go to the cosplayers that do it better than the costume cats in Hollywood, man. It's just, dude, I fuck that shit, man.
No,
When
I agree with
when
you.
somebody can sit in their living room and make this shit better than a motherfucker that has their own studio and all this other shit, I don't want to hear it, man. And people do it with less money and less fabric and less things to work with than somebody that has millions of dollars and could put this shit together and they do a crappy job.
The difference is the care and the respect. That's the difference. That is the absolute.
We do gotta see it executed too, like the Dr. Fate thing. Like, hey, maybe there's some cool visuals with that. You know, we'll see.
Yeah, because I don't approach it. This is the way I don't approach it. If it's not completely comic accurate in the design, as long as the context is there, I'm happy. If they have the character correct and not the costume, I'm not going to lose my shit over it.
What about like X-Men? What was that, 2000, Gary? Like, were you?
Well, I never liked any of the X-Men when it came to the costumes, because they never got any of it right. But I still enjoyed the films for most part, except for that last one.
Well, yeah, we don't count that one.
Yeah,
Juggernaut.
a little bad.
we don't
Actually, the last two were not very good.
Juggernaut.
You know, Apocalypse and
It's like, hey, remember that guy we got to write the screenplay for Phoenix? Yeah, let's have him come back, write it, and direct it this time. It'll be better. No, it wasn't. It was worse. He actually made a worse film than the original.
Crazy?
What?
That's crazy, right? Like X3 was better than the Dark Phoenix, because they're both terrible movies.
Yeah, oh my God, their version of Juggernaut. Man, I'm a fan of that guy. Juggernaut was just fucking awful in that.
That was a bad movie.
The only thing good that came out of that film was that crazy little girl that played
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah.
That was a good thing.
I mean, you can't call her that now. Don't get in trouble now.
Yeah, because just on a personal note, I refuse to watch season 3 of The Umbrella Academy, because I don't care what she chose to do in her personal life. If she wants to be a man, that's fine. She can be a man, but she was cast in that role, and she needs to continue playing that role the way she was cast. To change it to match her personal fucking life is stupid.
Yes,
so they
it is.
changed the role
acting for a fucking reason.
So now
they
the
changed the
character
character.
is trans?
The character is trans now.
What the fuck? It's acting, y'all. It's not that deep. It's
I'm out.
acting.
Joke.
I'm out. I have nothing against trans people. I have a problem when you tell me that a trans person can only play a trans person. A gay person can only play gay. That's dumb. It's called acting for a fucking reason.
Thank you. I'm so triggered right now. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I can see it. You're fucking losing your mind.
I am, because look, acting, that's my thing. Okay, I got my BA in that. I was professional for a while. I get it. You are
BA as in badass?
You are no different.
You got your badass in acting?
For clothing. Yes, I do, Gary. Very badass. Very badass. You are, okay, you got designers, right? They do clothes. You got models. Models are fucking hangers for clothes. Actors are hangers for, the craft, and directors and producers and all that shit. You are not playing you. If you are trans, if you are straight, if you are whatever you are, you get hired for a role. You know what? You tuck that shit in, in the trunk. You put on that character. You go do a job. You get a paycheck. You clock out. Not that deep.
Exactly.
And it drives me nuts to see this shit, because that's activism, and it does not belong in a job like that. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Just do your fucking job. You're a performing monkey. Perform your fucking job. Stop trying to play politics in front of the camera on the stage. I get you. But let's see. Let's move on to this story. Venom 3 will be Tom Hardy's last. Written by Mikey Sutton. Venom 3 will mark Tom Hardy's final appearance as the character. Its predecessor, 2021's Venom, Let There Be Carnage, which I still haven't watched. I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
Did you like the first one at all, Gary?
I liked the first one, but I hated the effects.
You'll probably like the second one. I think it'll be watchable for you.
We'll see. I just it's like I use my time as wisely as possible.
Right.
And watching that one has not been something that seemed like the thing I wanted to give my time to. But anyway, 506 million globally. Granted, that's less than the 856.1 million worldwide of 2018's Venom, which I thought was a really good film, except for it's really the final fight scene that I thought was bad.
It was terrible.
I thought it was bad visually.
Yeah.
However, Venom never faced the pandemic. The Spider-Man No Way Home connection also boosted the sequel. Nevertheless, Sony isn't complaining. Indeed, they'll take $500 million any day of the week. Still, it looks like Hardy abandons this symbiote after Venom 3. Tom Hardy posted in front page of Venom 3 script on the Instagram story. Innocent enough, right? But Tom Hardy added a GIF that states "Last Dance." So we'll just get past that because it's not showing up for some reason. This is different than director Zack Snyder's cryptic teases. Those tell fans not to give up on restoring the Snyderverse. This, though, reveals that Tom Hardy's done. I usually don't take the pessimistic viewpoint. Nevertheless, this seems self-explanatory. There's honestly no way to interpret this. After all, it makes too much sense Venom 3 ends a trilogy. Does Hardy have anything to say about the anti-hero? Probably not. Critics and fans felt similarly about both Venom movies. At their best, audiences looked at them as engaging escapist fare. Nobody claimed they transcended the superhero genre like Joker or Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't feel that way with either of those. Nor did they reach the emotional highs of Spider-Man No Way Home. Perhaps Tom Hardy seeks new challenges that the Venom franchise can't fulfill. In post-credit sequences in Spider-Man No Way Home, Tom Hardy leaves a symbiote behind in the MCU. Hardy's departure gives Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige the opportunity for his own Venom. In other words, a Venom in the MCU. This opens the door for the symbiote to attach itself to Tom Holland. Marvel Studios planned this for Secret Wars. Hardcore Marvel comic followers long for a faithful adaptation of Venom for decades. Hardy may be gone soon, but the real Venom could be next. Regardless, Sony won't stop making Venom movies. They deliver the big bucks. No, they can't resist those cash registers. With or without Tom Hardy, Sony will continue making them. So there you go. Given that Morbius sucked at the box office, Sony can't live without Venom. And I actually thought Morbius was a good film. Not great, but good.
I liked it better than the Venom film, actually. But,
I gotta say, I did too. Yeah, my problem with the film was giving away the villain too soon.
I mean, it had problems.
That should have been a third act thing. I thought that it should have been a mystery. If he's not doing it, who's doing it? But they made it too obvious who it was.
Solved it. The very next scene, they solved that mystery, Gary, like 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, he gave away the fucking ending.
Like, all right.
So I'm not gonna spoil it for people. You watch the movie.
Oh, yeah.
But Andre and I talked about it too. It's like I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed the film. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really like the character in the comics. I only liked it when he went up against Blade and against Spider-Man.
Yeah, I wasn't big on his lore, but they got it, good backstory for the Morbius lore in the film. So, yeah, good job by them. But with Tom Hardy, it's time for him to hang that up anyway. That character, you can go so far with that shtick that he's doing with Venom, in my opinion. So I think MCU kind of did something smart where they can't do the full Secret Wars, right? They can't do the whole.
Well, Eddie Brock doesn't have a character arc in his films.
Yeah, at all. Like they ruined their chance to really make that a meaningful character. So, but like at the end of No Way Home, you have the symbiote, the piece standing behind, and then they zap Tom Hardy away. So that's them saying, okay, the alien symbiote's on the planet now in the MCU, so it's gonna find Tom Holland, and they're gonna probably do the proper black suit, and then he gets split away, and you get a new Eddie Brock. So we'll see.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: with the Secret Wars, is it going to be the new one or the old one?
know
See,
they
that's
gonna,
the thing. Like the original Secret Wars is where, from the 80s was when he got the suit. But are we going to adapt the bullshit from what last 10 years or whatever?
they're gonna take elements of that.
Yeah. So basically,
Well, it's
you're going
Kevin
to add
Feige. You know the answer to that question because it's
right.
Kevin
So
Feige.
so basically, you're going to add Venom into the new Secret Wars when he came from the original Secret Wars, which neither one of them had anything to fucking do with each other. Man, who gives a fuck, man? Like, damn, man, they just associated because it's Marvel and they got the same name, but totally two different storylines involving totally different, man.
Well, like Civil War wasn't really Civil War.
They did that though.
Yeah, with 10 people.
God. That's their.
Yeah, and
Civil
remember,
War.
Secret Wars, the original, is why I quit reading comics. Not that I didn't enjoy the main story, although I didn't think the villain was very good.
Oh, you didn't like the Beyonder?
I didn't like the Beyonder. Not the way they did it. I hope they do it better if they're going to do it. But either way it goes, I quit reading comics because Secret Wars, they pulled this marketing thing where you had to buy the shitty comics that Marvel was putting out to get the continued part of the story. But then it ended up not being important to the main story, and I got mad. I actually got fucking mad. I actually got mad to where I slammed the comic down.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, that's it. Fuck you, Marvel. And then I even got so mad, I quit reading DC too. Because I'm like, fuck comics. I'm done. I'm done with this waiting a fucking month to find out a story. And then you go in a way I don't fucking like. And make me buy comics I don't want to buy. Cocksuckers. And so I sold all but my movie collectible comics, the tie-ins.
Jeez.
Everything else is gone. Sold them all, boxes of comics gone. I stopped reading comics, but then Jim Woodward, one of the producers of our show here, fucking walked up and goes, "You ever heard of a graphic novel?" I'm like, "What?" This is back in '86, going into '87. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, graphic novels. They're a thing now." I'm like, "What the fuck is a graphic novel?" "They're a comic book, but they're the full story arc, all in one book."
All in one.
And I looked at him, I said, "This is real." So he took me to Walden Books in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and showed me Watchmen and Batman, The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, man, that's cool.
I bought them immediately, and that's all I've read since. I don't read comic books. I read graphic novels or the trade paperbacks where they take a series in the comics and put it into one book.
It's a little bougie.
And I like that. I like that. I just won't read anything made by modern comic writers over the last 20 years because I think 90% of it's garbage.
Oh, yeah. Today, definitely, yes.
I'm old. My time's important to me.
Well, I don't mind buying a comic and waiting a month, Gary. Isn't that asking too much of me to wait a month to get the rest of the story?
I mean, shit.
Yes, it's a lot.
I mean, that's how we had been dealing with them since they damn near came out, huh?
Gary said no. 24.
No, I'm done.
Yeah,
I want my story arc now.
He wants the binge model of comic book.
I'd rather binge read or binge watch it all at once.
I am. I'm a binge watcher.
Yeah, I am too. Big
I will wait weeks so I can binge watch at least half a season of something.
Yeah.
And speaking of shows, I'm very excited by this. I don't know about you guys. I was a big fan of their series and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought some of it got hokey in season 2.
Yeah.
But I stuck with it because I liked the characters. And I loved the cast. They had a really good cast. And she was really good in the show. She was Earthquake, right? That was her name? Is that what she was called?
Quake.
Yeah, Quake.
Yeah.
And I just liked her character. But Chloe Bennett's Quake could join Agents of Atlas, the new series. And I would like it to bring them all back, to be honest with you. I like that little Scottish kid or the girl and the English kid and the Scottish girl. They were good. And Chloe was good. And she's, okay, look, I don't care what anybody says. She's sexy as hell. I like her in a fight.
Oh, yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, she was almost a Powerpuff Girl.
Stop.
So, There she
Wasn't
is.
Ming now Wen? Wasn't she?
And of course, Mikey loves her
Stranger
because
Things?
she's Filipino.
Yeah, he's very
Very proud of her.
with that.
Yeah, I know. It gets a
think
little too much, Mikey.
little
Come on, man.
pro.
No, anyway, that's my Joe Biden. Come on, man. But let's look at who wrote this one. Who wrote this article? Edwin wrote this one with Mikey. So you know it's going to have some snark in it if Mikey's involved. Chloe Bennett's Quake might end up in Marvel Studios' Agents of Atlas. 2 pieces of Agents of Atlas are already in the MCU first. Randall Park debuted as Jimmy Woo in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Secondly, Simu Liu captured the lead role in Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Could Chloe Bennett's Quake be the third? Granted, Quake isn't in Agents of Atlas in the comics. However, that's irrelevant to Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige.
Always.
Yeah, I know. That's a dig right there. Whether you realize it, Mikey is actually taking a little dig at Kevin Feige there by saying that. If it's not in the comics, Kevin Feige doesn't care.
Doesn't matter.
Feige focuses on bringing cinematic pieces together. He will mix and match various elements from the comic books. Yep, that's what he does. And Chloe Bennett's Quake fits perfectly. I love her character, so I'm not going to argue. Fans are hoping to see Shang-Chi and Quake after Chloe Bennett posted her photo with Simu Liu. I didn't know about that. Now let's make this clear. We're not saying the photo teases Agents of Atlas. Moreover, we're not suggesting Chloe Bennett is hinting it. Sources haven't said that was the image's purpose. Nevertheless, interpret it as you wish.
That's a good job there, Mikey. Good job putting that line in there. Yeah.
Yep. This is the guy I'm looking forward to because I love this guy is a great actor. I love him.
Great. Oh yeah, Coulson, right?
He did that show with Julia Louis-Dreyfus as her ex-husband. I love that show, and he made the show for me. He was so funny, and then he was part of the MCU, and I'm like, fuck yeah. His Coulson is a favorite character. Don't know if he's comic accurate. Don't care. I just like him. He's the
comics don't matter.
In this case, I say whatever happened in the comics with that character, I don't care. What I care about is this character and how they handle him on the shows or in the films. Specifically, I mean, I cried when he died. I fucking cried.
I thought that was a terrible choice by Whedon to kill him off first film. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah, one of the many reasons why I fucking hate Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Just one of the many reasons I don't like
that. A lot of reasons they hate,
Chloe Bennett portrayed Quake again in the web series Slingshot, which I didn't watch. In addition, she has even voiced a variant of Quake in Marvel's animated series Marvel Rising. Critics and fans praise Simu Liu for his portrayal of Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, and quit saying the whole the film name, was the first Asian-focused MCU film. I think it failed, personally, because of that. I think they made a mistake. Well, I think it did fail. I mean, it did not make the money that they proclaimed.
It didn't make a lot of money. No.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because fans didn't enjoy it as much as they wanted us to.
Well, they think everything's going to be Black Panther, right? But you got to realize, like, Black Panther, that's a character just everybody knows. Everybody didn't know Shang-Chi. You know, you can't force.
No, guys like I know it because I read that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, but everybody.
And that's why, you know, when you make something like that, you have to you got to make a choice. Are we going to make it to where it's popular with an entire audience? Or are we going to focus on the racial aspect of it? Or are we going to go and try to get those fans to watch?
And you know what helped? Even Black Panther probably wasn't the best example because they at least introduced Black Panther in the MCU before his actual film. You just wake up and Shang-Chi just is a film. It's just Shang-Chi, go check it out. Yeah. It's like, who is this? You know? So, yeah.
Exactly. But here's the photo she shared.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely do take that as she's going to be involved in it. It's going to be a thing. I'm looking forward to it.
These actors know. You put stuff on social media. Like, even I know now. Like, if I put a picture, you know, people are going to think something.
Yeah, it's like Ezra Miller knew he was fired when he posted those weird rants.
Did he know?
But I don't expect this to be comic accurate at all. It's not going to be. Yeah. I don't expect comic accurate from any of these fuckers anymore.
Yeah. No. They'll take elements of it, but they don't.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. And Kevin Feige, what he likes to do is, up to a certain point, he was picking and choosing specific things. He would pick old stuff and new stuff and mix it in there. That way, new fans and old fans would enjoy themselves. But then he turns around and starts answering to Victoria Alonso. And Victoria Alonso hates fans. She despises fans. And she is the power behind Marvel Comics right now. And when everybody's like, why all of a sudden is Marvel Comics really getting, or Marvel movies getting woke? Well, it's because of Victoria Alonso. Victoria Alonso has forced her opinion and feelings. I mean, that's why Captain Marvel went the way it did, that they didn't have the original Captain Marvel be a man. That was all Victoria Alonso. That wasn't fucking Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is just appeasing his boss. I mean, remember, she's the one who wanted men taken out of X-Men. The word men was a problem.
Oh my God. I think my brain just broke.
Yeah, she wanted X-people. She's okay with X-Femin, but she is not happy with X-Men.
X-Woman.
X-Woman.
What is it?
Whoa, man. Whoa, man.
Oh my God.
So, I don't know. Are any of you guys as excited as I am about any of this news?
No.
No, I mean with S.H.I.E.L.D. becoming. I'm talking about with Chloe Bennett.
Oh, sure, why not? Okay.
No, actually, I was looking forward to seeing her in the Powerpuff Girls.
Wait a minute, is she going to be in Powerpuff live action?
That piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Are you serious?
Yeah, actually,
shit, I'm going to have to watch it now.
No, actually, she was, and they filmed the shit, and from everybody fucking turning on that thing when they released I think it was like a little trailer or whatever. They that thing shit the bed, so they went back for reshoots, and then she quit.
Yeah,
man.
Church shit in Johnny Depp's bed had more charm and charisma than that fucking Powerpuff Girls trailer.
I didn't watch the trailer. I'll have to take you guys.
Yeah,
oh my God! I
you
swear
should check it out.
Your brain would melt.
Yeah, you would love it.
After the show, I'm going to watch it. I will watch it. We can watch it together after the show, so you guys can tell me all your thoughts. Now, our last story. Let's pick our last story. Is it going to be details of Ben Affleck's Batman movie, or are we going to talk about Miles Teller possibly being DC's Green Lantern?
Yeah, probably Miles Teller. Probably a.
You think that one goes that one?
Old.
Yeah.
You guys, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm kind of over the Batman.
Yeah, let's go.
Shut up, Arwen.
It's not
There's
your
so many of them, Gary. My God, Batman's crawling out of every crack and crevice now. I'm just.
Yeah, but the Ben Affleck movie was the one we all wanted. Okay, so
I know. I'm just.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm tired of talking about things we're not going to get. I want to talk about things we're going to get.
Here you go.
So, Top Gun Mavericks, Miles Teller. He was really good at Top Gun.
Oh man, I'm a big fan of Miles.
As Goose's son, man, he was really fucking good.
He nailed that, man.
And I still stand by saying this: best Star Wars movie since 1980. That entire third act is nothing but Star Wars.
Oh man.
And they saw it. The director admitted to it. And he told Tom Cruise that before Tom Cruise, because Tom Cruise didn't want to do it. Tom Cruise was not in. But when he described what they were going to do in that whole Star Wars ending, Tom was like, fuck it, I'm in. Take my money. No, we pay you. And he goes, no, take my money.
Yeah.
So Miles Teller, did you do any coverage of this yet? Guys, no,
not really. Yeah, just the possibilities of him. He's open to the superhero, genre, and he's a hot actor right now, especially after this film. And so I think he could pick.
Well, I thought he was a terrible Reed Richards because he's not right for the part.
No,
but before the show, 24 and I were talking, and he sees it too, that the only Green Lantern he would be, and let's hear your idea, Sil. Who do you think it would be?
For Miles Teller? Well, I mean, everyone will say Hal Jordan, but I can see some Kyle Rayner with him actually.
I absolutely see his personality and the way he acts only working with Guy Gardner.
You think Guy Gardner? He
Yes.
can go there. Yeah,
he's got the right. He's got the face, his angry face and annoyed face. He has got one of the best faces for playing Guy Gardner.
Huh.
And his performance style.
I mean,
he
he
always
has
seems
range.
irritated or agitated.
Yeah, he has range. He could go there with being a jerk because Guy Gardner got to be a jerk. You know,
he's got to be a jerk, but a likable jerk.
Right. He could pull that off. Yeah, that's actually not a bad choice.
And we've never seen Guy Gardner done, and I want to see Guy Gardner. I really do. He's one of those versions. You know, Hal Jordan. Don't get me wrong. We all enjoy Hal Jordan. He's fun, likable, very affable guy, heroic. Guy Gardner does not get the credit he deserves as Green Lantern.
Green Lantern Corps, here we come.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. Zaslav definitely wants to push, according to what Mikey's reporting. He wants, theatrical Green Lantern, core, multiple Green Lanterns. So you got to get a couple big stars.
It needs to be a little heavy. It needs, because that's the problem really with the feel and flow of the previous Green Lantern. And it's because of the writing. They did not know how. Jeff Johns is a terrible writer. He really is. He's a garbage writer. People go,
for like
what about his comic work on? Garbage. I hated every comic he made. What about Flashpoint? I'm like, comic? Prime example of his fucking bad writing. I hated the Flashpoint comics that he did.
You know, like Flashpoint?
No,
he can write comics.
He did not.
He can't write screenplays. I think he can write comics.
I don't think he can write comics worth of shit either.
Stargirl
was funny. This has led to some interesting conversations with Keith, because I am an absolute hater of Jeff Johns.
No, just say absolute hater, then just period.
Because I have a fantasy of doing what Stewie did to Will Ferrell, of flying all the way to where Jeff Johns lives and going to his door, ringing his doorbell, dropping down and dick punching him. Man. It's like, you're not good. Stop writing.
That's what Ezra Miller would do.
I bet you we could talk Ezra to do it. Give him some drugs.
Yeah.
But let's see this. I want to read what Edwin wrote here. Top Gun. And my problem, you know what my beef with Edwin is? Because I like it. I like his writing, but his problem is a lot of his stuff is filler. And he grabs stuff from historical information that's not necessary to the article. And he'll throw it in there just to get his word count.
Well, let's see how much.
His wife, Joy Lynn, is so much better at writing. But he is getting better. Every time I read an article, it's a little bit better each time.
Every time you call him out, yeah.
Man, no, I'm not calling him out in a bad way. Because I poke fun at a lot of writers who are friends of mine for some of the things that they do when they're writing articles. But Top Gun Maverick star Miles Teller is open to playing DC Films Green Lantern. In other words, Miles Teller could leap from one pilot to another. That is, if DC Film wants him. Moreover, it might as well. That's supposed to be an S there. Okay, you need to tell Mikey again. They got to get a proof editor over there.
I thought they had one, to be quite honest.
They do not. This stuff right here. A while because of the Warner Discovery merger. DC Films leadership is in limbo. I don't really think they are.
They're about to hire someone now. It's not really a limbo.
What we're doing is they're having meetings right now. Limbo means nothing's happening. Shit's happening over there. So I think that's the wrong word to use. Warner Brothers, and again, if you talk to Edwin, tell him I said that. Wrong word. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO. See, if I was his editor, I would be picking this apart and telling him what to do. Change this, beat this up.
Put red marks.
I worked in journalism for 25 years. And it's like, it's something I understand. I understand journalism.
That's why I'm writing.
Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav will replace DC Films president Walter Hamada. He got that news via Deadline. Could you imagine reading your own obituary before you're dead?
Oh my God.
It's It's doubtful. And the funny part is he's not even mentioned in his own obituary.
It's like, hey, looking for a new DC head. But it's like, Hamada's still there. What are they talking about?
Well, he's in the office. He's occupying space. But he has been completely castrated as the actual leader of DC. Zaslav says, "You're done, son. Collect your paycheck and leave at the end of the day."
Transitional period.
Yeah, transitional. Stepping down.
Soul searching. Okay.
When you read the words "stepping down" or "leaving" means shit canned, fucking fired,
Hiatus.
unceremoniously removed.
Pretty much.
Still, you fucking know what I'm talking about. I learned how to read between those words. And it's one thing that Mikey and I talk about in our private chats because he says, "Here you go, Gary, read between the lines." And I went, "Oh, man." I'm like, yes. So for comic book fans, Miles Teller entered their radar for Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, which I sadly think might have been a better film if Josh Trank had actually finished it. Better than what we got. I'm not going to say it was going to be a great film, but I think it would have been a better film. Yeah. He played
the first
Mr.
act
Fantastic.
was not bad.
What's that?
I was saying the first act wasn't that bad. That film that you saw.
They always get the Dr. Doom part wrong. Every single time. It's like they don't know how to make Dr. Doom. And Dr. Doom is not created the way they fucking show, and stop doing that. He's an already existing character. So, but anyway, Whiplash, as a drummer, I didn't think it was that great a film about drumming. Everybody made, "Oh, this is a great film about drumming." No, it's not. I'm a drummer. It's not that great. Neither was Drumline. Fuck that movie.
Footloose
that wasn't about drumming either.
Nobody gave a shit about the Footloose remake.
No, not one person.
Come on, Nick Cannon's Drumline.
Either because it just looks so
stupid. Yeah, he's talking about Drumline.
But Nick Cannon trying to get some puts on that movie.
And hey, I liked the first Divergent film.
Yeah, that's actually not. He was in that film.
It was good. I thought it was a good film. After that, it just the quality lapsed. I'm just like, okay, you lost me. But Miles Teller's role in Top Gun Maverick gave his career jet fuel. There's sudden interest in him now in another comic book role, and he does have a heroic look to him. But he's not Reed Richards. He's not right for the part. I thought the casting in this was just not.
That was the worst choice of cast. Like Michael B. Jordan wasted, Toby Kebbell wasted in that film as Doom. It was terrible.
It was just bad. But Miles Teller responded to both, saying, "I haven't heard any of those rumblings yet, but I'm sure if they get loud enough, then I will hear. Yeah, for sure, I'd be down. I love the fan base. I love the Marvel and DC fan bases." What did he just say there? Did you read that?
Bidding war. That's
fan bases. You understand that? He just said, "I love the fans of these things. I love those movies as an audience member," and it seems they've taken these characters more and more seriously because the fans deserve it. He just won me over for now. There's nothing cheap about those characters, and if the right thing can come along, I'd be open to it for sure. Now, if he's singling out only the non-toxic fans, then I'm out. Because we want something that's closer to the comics. And I still don't see him as that character. I don't think he would work, but I think he'd be great as Guy Gardner.
It's that pilot connection I think Mikey's trying to make here, or Edwin. He was just in Top Gun. It's a big film. Have him be the pilot, Hal Jordan, right?
Yeah, because this should have been included up here as just a sentence, not a paragraph. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop. Kieran Bug. Now, Kieran is a good writer. Kieran's a good friend of mine. I love Kieran. And I like his writing. He's a very good journalist. And he's English. Which is somehow not relevant in any way.
Somehow that's racist.
Just like to say it.
But I've been trying to get him on Pop Culture Mindful for a while. He even got a new webcam and a mic just to come on Pop Culture Mindful.
Oh, cool.
But then, like, everything, it's always, because he's in a good relationship. And he nurtures that relationship in the way he should. And the relationship gets in the way of what he wants to do. And it's like, sorry, mate, can't make it this week. Oh yeah, my wife's just or girlfriend's got to pay attention to her and her vagina.
They gotta get his priorities.
Never said that.
Good man, though. Good man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he gets it right.
But I don't know, man. I really could see him as Guy Gardner, but not as Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's gonna be a bidding. I think it's gonna be a bidding war. I think Marvel would love to have Miles Teller also in DC as well. So I think whatever he picks, it's gonna be pretty big.
Well, he's got something that I noticed early on is that he really does have a leading man quality to him.
Mm-hmm.
He can really carry a film.
Yeah, he hung in there pretty good. I mean, that was Tom Cruise film, and by the third act, used
Miles Teller's right up there with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. Great actor.
You hold your ground with Tom Cruise. You've just done something like Henry Cavill.
Like in a Tom Cruise movie, right? Made for Tom Cruise. Like I said, Cavill stood out. He's probably one of the rare people as well that stood out.
So much so that there's negotiations going on about the possibility of his return for the final film with Tom.
I'm just spending a little money.
Yeah, because Tom, he knows it. I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm going to fucking die. He's doing one of my stunts. He's a crazy motherfucker, but he's not that crazy.
I thought Scientologists just transcended. I didn't think they actually died.
Yeah, it becomes a bubble coming out of a volcano.
Yeah, that's what I So
goes back to Xeno or whatever that planet is.
Anyway.
Wow.
But look, I don't know. What do you guys think? Would he be capable of playing Hal Jordan if they get him? Am I full of shit?
I say yes to both of those questions.
That he wouldn't do well, and that I'm full of shit. Yeah, thank you, Skill. You're lucky I like you.
What Phil said.
All right,
24.
Yeah, I can't wait till they they get him in and they complete the casting for the Green Lantern core series for HBO Max, and they could throw him on that shit, and he could hang out with Alan Scott. I can't wait.
Yeah, the only thing that's bad for me right now is the fact that I heard that Greg Berlanti is still involved.
Yeah, of course. That's why I can't wait. Yeah.
I'm hoping that it's only as a producer and he doesn't get a say.
No, dude, they brought him and everybody that did the Green Lantern movie. Everybody involved, script writers, whoever
Jeff
the
Johns
fuck.
Involved?
Dude, Jeff Johns. Yeah, his name is listed.
Look, man, you need to look into who's actually involved and look at who did the Green Lantern movie, and then you're gonna see familiar names, and you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be this shit." But now a whole series. Well, let's get Miles Teller, and he can fucking join the guys.
Ryan Reynolds calls David Zaslav personally and says, "Dude, are you not fucking paying attention?"
I don't even see how.
The people you just put in charge of the same people that made that piece of shit that I make fun of.
I'm not gonna put it past Zaz if he's axing all this stuff like the Wonder Twins. He's axed projects like that. So CW shows. So I mean, if he gets a whiff of that 24, hey, nothing's safe. None of these projects are safe. So there's no guarantee Berlanti's gonna make that.
Yeah, and I warn people all the time. Look, man, everybody seems so excited that Discovery has stepped in, but if you've ever watched Discovery, they're woke.
Yeah, they're woke as fuck. Yeah, they got
commercially woke. They're commercially woke in that if it's not viable and it can't make money, they get rid of it.
If
they will absolutely produce something that's woke.
But they don't do CW woke where it's like, oh, let's just stay with this storyline as the
keep doubling down on bad ideas. Exactly. Discovery won't do that.
Yeah, they have that Tyra Banks the drag child show that they got going on.
Yes.
Child kid. So yeah, that's
Gay Pride Month, and they put that on there, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with gay.
But hey, they made money off of that.
Gay Pride.
they made money off of that. That's what it's all about. Now, if that tanks, you're not going to see that show anymore.
Yeah, well, they call it a limited series for a reason.
Oh, there you go. That was
because
smart.
I don't think they expected.
Limited series.
That was very smart.
They got their paychecks from the advertisers already. But there's no guarantee a second season will get those advertisers back when they see the numbers. And so that's where Discovery is smart. They're a business. They're about making money. They're not a studio like Warner Brothers who doesn't give a shit. And the only thing I defend with Warner Brothers, where they are right in one thing, which is when you've got Clint Eastwood, who has won a lot of Oscars for Warner Brothers, you have to think like Daryl F. Zanuck and other movie producers from those days who would pocket 1 to 2 films a year that they didn't care if they made money on, that they would throw money into just for award seasons because they wanted those Oscars or Oscar nominations. Biggest one, first real big one was Gone with the Wind. When they produced that, they did not expect it to make money. That was solely to win an Oscar.
And is that smart though?
The studios know, because that's still bread. That's still money for them, because that makes them more valuable.
Okay,
especially to investors, etc.
I can see that.
That is a shrewd thing to do, to accept a financial loss on a film as long as it accrues awards. And Clint Eastwood is notorious for that, making films that get nominated and or win.
Right, so like the movie that Zaz was upset with, Cry Macho, Clint Eastwood.
Cry Macho, I think, was a mistake, even though I enjoyed the film.
Point. I didn't watch it.
He was too old.
But they spent $30 million to make that film, and they only made $15 million back. Which really, you spent $30 million, you probably spent another $10 million for marketing. So it's a loss. That's the whole point.
It's an absolute
Tens
loss.
of millions.
But the question is, did they get any awards for it? And I don't even actually know that answer. If they didn't, then it absolutely was not worth the time and effort.
Your theory is you could lose $20 to $30 million, and as long as you get that award buzz, you think that makes up for it?
Absolutely. The classic producers, the heads of the studios, absolutely believed in it religiously because they saw the financial value of winning an Oscar.
The long term,
and even actors know this, that getting a nomination or a win absolutely boosts the amount of money that they get. And that's why I don't like the Oscars, because I think the Oscars are actually there just to make people more money, not really about giving the person that deserved the award. All right. Which I refuse to watch. I always watch.
They slap people now at the Oscars too. So
People's Choice is really the only one I care about. The awards that are voted for by fans. Of film. Those are the awards that I care about. Anything past that, when fellow movie makers start stroking the dicks of other actors, I'm not interested. I don't give two shits about that.
I don't want to see that ever. Yeah.
And that's what the Oscars are. It's a big old circle jerk. And I have friends that are members of the Academy. But one of them is being William Sanderson from Blade Runner. He's a member of the Academy. So, But anyway, any last thoughts, guys, before we go?
Oh, just getting that mental picture out of my head of the Oscars.
Circle jerks at the Oscars. Ew. Look, man, my religion is fucking Ricky Gervais. He fucking nails Hollywood every single time. Just fucking nails them.
Yeah, he does.
And even though when he makes jokes about things that maybe I don't agree with, I don't care. I fucking love that guy. He is an absolute outspoken critic of Hollywood.
Right.
And
that's why he'll never be back.
Nope, fuck that though. He's not losing any money. That guy's so fucking rich. I mean, when he fucking made that joke on Netflix saying, you keep talking about, blacks and their percentage at 5%, women and their 50%, and going with the percentages. He was always going for these low percentages. He says, but I am a billionaire white man, 1%. I'm a minority, and I'm like, oh, you motherfucker, he went there. God damn it. It was funny. Dumb, but it was funny.
Oh, my God.
Ricky Gervais just insults everything.
Yeah.
Shits on everything. And I think that's the big thing that's why South Park is so great to me, is if they don't shit on everything, then they're not being fair with their humor.
And they do too. They're brutal. I love it.
So again, guys, this has been the Scoop Zone with my co-host Arwen Avalon, Sil Abdul Jabbar,
Not really.
and the awesome, outspoken 24/7 Fusion Media. See, I can say it.
There you go.
Before Susan.
Fucked it up earlier.
Yeah, I know, right?
You guys look down below in the video descriptions is the links to their channels. If you're not subscribed, you're insane. You are insane. With Scoop Center over on Sil, I love that, like Sports Center. I expect a big desk and fucking screens behind you.
Eventually. Every Saturday is Scoop Center. Yeah.
Nice.
And then, of course, on Sundays, we have the Kings of... I always forget this because I always think of Kings of All Media because of fucking... what's his name?
It's the Primetime King.
Primetime King.
Yeah. Primetime Kings. With two of my other friends, Fat Steven Seagal and Baron Ortag.
Yeah, Vigilante Williamson.
What's that?
And Vigilante Williamson.
Oh, Vigilante Williams. Man, always a good show. Live stream Sundays. Man, watch it. What the hell's wrong with you people? Don't make me come to your house. I'll Ezra Miller the shit out of you. I'll throw a chair at you. Watch these fucking shows. Arwen Avalon in my chats with our shows usually. You can find Arwen either gaming with Fat Steven Seagal or in the chat on his streams.
I do more than just that, Gary.
It's down below, but she never does anything. She's always, but she's so much fun.
Yeah.
Do you not watch YouTube, Gary? I'm everywhere. What the hell? Not just
I know you show up on other people's shows that I don't like.
You shady bitch.
I'm kidding. I just like messing with you. You're so much fun.
Oh man.
And I did record you cackling.
Oh my God! I do not cackle.
Cackling drops.
Steven.
Yeah, you were on Steve's. You were gaming with him, playing Fortnite, that really gay version of Call of Duty, and you started cackling, and I recorded it, and I'm like, I fucking got her cackle.
Oh my God! He said that, and I'm like, no. He's like, yes, he did.
Yeah, I know. I wrote it in the channel so you could read it.
That's what he's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's this episode of Scoop Zone. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Join us again next week, where I'm certain we'll still be talking about Ezra Miller.
That's hot.
My God, this guy. I mean, what? I don't know how his fucking brain works, man. This is crazy shit.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
Y'all come back now. You hear?